Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a brand new, very special episode of the Metal Meltdown. It's our final vinyl update of 2021, and holy shit, what a miraculous year it has been for vinyl. So many killer tunes, so many killer records added to the collection, and so much money spent as a result. Oh my god. How on earth am I not broke? Seriously, legitimate question. How am I not fucking broke? Not complaining, I like being not broke, but like, how? The math doesn't make sense in my head. And since I have your attention, this seems like a solid opportunity to remind you that the Metal Meltdown will be hosting a Christmas and holiday party live right here on the Metal Meltdown December 26th at approximately 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna play video games, we're gonna drink, sing songs, tell stories. I'll be there, Anna will be there, Chompy will be there, my good buddy, Moose, the host of the Moving Mouths podcast and a local Torontonian filmmaker, will also be there. It'll be rad, it'll be wild, it'll be fun, it'll probably be also very fucking stupid, because all of my live streams are kind of stupid, but specifically the Christmas ones are. Anyone who tuned into last year's live Christmas party will be able to tell you it was fucking nutty at a certain point. So yeah, you're probably not gonna want to miss this. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about some fucking vinyl. As per the norm with any vinyl update video, I will be talking about a slew of records that I have purchased and enjoyed thoroughly in the past couple of months. I recommend you do the same in the comment section below. The first of these is actually a box set, which eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed in this shelf over here in these past couple of weeks. It is the Torn Arteries Deluxe Edition, which features a limited edition Carcass dinnerware set, including a fork, a knife, and a plate. It's very fucking silly, and I love the shit out of it. I have unironically prepared and eaten quite a few meals on this, all of them just as gnarly and delicious as the tunes that Carcass consistently serves up. With all due respect, I am not going to take the dinnerware set out of this because it's kind of a pain in the ass to put back in, but I will happily show you the vinyl that it came with. It is a transparent rainbow veggie splatter vinyl thing. It's hot, it's sexy, it's cool. Get a little bit of a better look at it here. Very nice. Sounds every bit as pretty as it looks, may I add. I like the little lyric booklet as well, because as you flip through it, it shows the vegetable heart that's on the cover kind of ever so gradually decomposing until it's just like a pile of moldy, rotten veggie crap. Like, look at that. That's a neat little touch. That's pretty cool. I never thought vegetables would look so brutal. Also went ahead and picked up the Despicable EP, released last year, also from Carcass, also killer. Nasty shit. This one being a bright ruby red vinyl. Thank you very much, Nuclear Blast Records, for both of these, because I can now once again proudly say that I own every major studio release from Carcass. And I'm very, very, very proud of that. Next up, I've got a slew of iconic extreme metal records. I got my hands on all of these thanks to Cops Records, located in Greektown here in Toronto, just ever so slightly east of the Danforth Music Hall, legendary Toronto venue. The first of these is this bad boy from Electric Wizard, arguably the definitive stoner doom album, Dope Throne, and I promise you, it sounds every bit as stunning on vinyl as you think it does. When me and Anna picked this up, we actually had a pretty fun night just getting absolutely blazed listening to this, and all the other records that I picked up, might I add, but this was definitely the highlight. It comes on a variant that I didn't expect. It comes on purple vinyl with like little starry glitter chunks. It might be tough to see in the video, but it literally looks like there's glitter in the vinyl. Did not expect that at all. but I love it. 10 out of 10. Next up, we have some classic old school death metal, some records that I honestly did not think I would ever own. The first of these being Slowly We Rot from Obituary. Classic, slimy, nasty, perverse American death metal. And we've also got arguably the greatest brutal death metal album ever recorded, or one of the greatest at the very least, None So Vile from Kryptopsy. Years later, this thing just staggers me. It's pummeling, it's brutal, it's in your face. It's just still an incredible record. Both of these are on standard black, no special variants needed, because they're fucking fantastic. We also picked up a record that, by sheer coincidence, I talked about quite recently in my top 10 favorite black metal albums video, the 10th anniversary edition of École de Lune from Alceste. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't know. I'm a fucking dumb Canadian. I'm not even a dumb French Canadian, just a regular dumb Canadian, so I can't tell you if my French is accurate, but I'm hoping it is. Not gonna lie, re-listening to this on vinyl was partially what convinced me to actually add it to the top 10 favorite black metal albums video. I mean, I've always loved it. It's always been one of my favorite black metal albums, but re-listening to it on vinyl, like, sealed the deal. Like, there was almost a Panopticon album added, there was almost an Imperial Triumphant album added, but then I heard this on vinyl and I was like, nah, this is it. And finally, the legendary self-titled debut album from 80s rock, pop metal titans and pioneers, Van Halen. Love 'em. Rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen, you absolute fucking madman. Thank you to Cops Records for all of those. Next up, we have Garden of Burning Apparitions, the latest studio album from power violence grindcore unit Full of Hell. I didn't personally enjoy this as much as I did previous albums, but it is nonetheless a blistering slab of in-your-face extremity and noise and horror. Still a great fucking record. I stand by my 4 out of 5 score. It is pressed on a very limited, swampy, snot, ox green, silver merge thing. That sounds disgusting, but it looks very pretty, as you can see. Thank you very much to Relapse Records for this. There's only 200 copies and I own one, and I love that. And I'm actually now learning that there's a poster. I didn't know that before. Let's look at it together. Okay. That's pretty fucking cool. Next up, a slew of records from my favorite record store in the city, Sonic Boom, the first of which being Colors 2 from Between the Buried and Me, the sequel to BT Bam's landmark record Colors, and quite frankly, the best prog metal album of the year and one of the best albums of the year altogether. It was in my top 10 best metal albums video, and it's been an absolute joy to revisit on vinyl in the last few weeks. This one, we've got kind of a pink vinyl with like a dark, light purple yoke. It's very pretty, very funky, very cool. Listening to this back-to-back with the original Colors, which I also have on vinyl, for those of you who didn't see the previous vinyl update video, was an absolute fucking treat. Definitely one of the coolest experiences vinyl-wise I've had in a while. Just a fantastic fucking record. If for whatever reason you've yet to pick up this record, you've really no excuse not to. There are a million different variants, and as I just noted, it's one of the best albums of the year, so fucking get your hands on this, stupid, you fucking idiot. Not you, the guy who didn't get it. You're great. You're amazing. I love you. I believe in you. Keep up the hard work. Also picked up a 90s heavy metal classic, an album that recently turned 30 years old, which makes me feel weird because I was born in 94, so, you know, I'm slowly becoming an old man and that makes me feel uncomfortable, but that is something I will address with my therapist and not you. It's No More Tears from Ozzy Osbourne. In my opinion, his best solo album. No disrespect to Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, or even some of the more recent stuff, which were honestly pretty decent, like Ordinary Man. That was a solid album. No disrespect to that shit, but this is the cream of the crop right here. It's got some of his best songs. Hellraiser, Mr. Tinker Train, Time After Time, Mama, I'm Coming Home, the album's thunderous title track, which still, like, reeks of, like, Typo Negative kind of goth metal, but filtered through Black Label Society, especially with those sludgy, heavy guitars. I really, really, really fucking dig it. Speaking of metal legends, I also picked up the debut album from Slayer, Show No Mercy, an extreme, provocative, fiery slab of 1980s speed and heavy metal. Not quite thrash just yet, you know, Slayer definitely showing their heavy metal roots on this thing with some more melodic hooks and guitar licks and stuff like that. Still a great record, more importantly, and pressed on a black and red vinyl. Very cool, giving me some Pokemon energy unintentionally. And it also comes with a poster, which I've been meaning to hang up because Anna's been kind of bugging me about it. I probably will eventually. It's just a matter of where to put it. I don't know. But here it is, if I can unfold it. I'm sure I can. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Ta-da! Look at that fucking shit. That's fucking rad, so... yeah, maybe I'll put it in the bathroom so that every time someone looks up to take a shit, it's like a weird goat man with a sword looking down at them. I like that. I'm gonna do that. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah. And we also picked up Typo Negative's landmark record, October Rust. This was recently reissued as part of the 25th anniversary celebrations, I believe it was, something like that. Sounds great. I had the pleasure of revisiting this album in preparation for a Reviewing Every Typo Negative video that never really came to be, unfortunately. But hey, at least I got to revisit these tunes and in turn rediscover this album, which I did on this sexy, slimy green vinyl. Hell yeah. There are things about Typo Negative's overall sound and aesthetic that I don't feel have aged especially well, especially some of those super, super edgy, racy lyrics, but regardless, this is a great record, probably Typo Negative's best. Rest in peace, Peter Steele, you weird, magnificent creature. Something else we got at Sonic Boom, believe it or not, was comic books, but not just any ordinary comic books. No. This is from DC Comics' Death Metal series, which features alternate versions of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman in this kind of post-apocalyptic fantasy world where they're looking for something called the Death Metal, and there's like an evil Batman, and it's weird and strange, and it's a bunch of stupid comic book bullshit. I'm not gonna lie, it's not exactly literary genius here, but these particular comics are very special because they have special alternate editions that you just won't see anywhere else. This is artwork you won't see anywhere else, and they also come with special singles. This one comes with a flexi-disc single from Rise Against, Canadian post-hardcore, melodic hardcore band. That's part of why these comics are so valuable right now, because only these particular ones come with these particular flexi singles. Issue 1 is the Rise Against one. Issue 2 features a flexi disc from a band called Grey Days, who I don't really know much about, but the song was alright. And issue number 3 is a Denzel Curry cut. Kinda weird, kinda left turn, but I don't mind it. Denzel Curry has dropped a few bangers. He's shown some love for heavy metal in the past by recovering some songs from Rage Against the Machine and Korn. So, you know, he fits in pretty well, I think. Although, this artwork does give me more of an Ultimate Spider-Man vibe. You know, specifically looking like the Ultimate Green Goblin, but whatever. Still fucking cool. I actually recently purchased a massive frame for all 3 of those comics, so when that arrives, I will frame them, put them on my wall, and y'all can check it out on my Instagram, at The Metal Meltdown, if you're interested. If not, I'm going to continue with this video. And I'm going to do so with this new record, Purification Through Violence from Dying Fetus, the recent reissue. Frankly, this album sounds like fucking shit. Like, it has not aged well sonically, but there is a certain charm to it, you know? Like, there's still a lot of brutal riffs that you can still hear, even if it's not the most crisp or transparent, but hey, it's like old school brutal death metal. It's not like anyone was expecting like high production value or anything like that. Artwork is still great. And it does come on this absolutely stunning variant, which is kind of like red and pink and yellow and white with like black splatter and some blue. It's pretty wild and pretty funky. I honestly never thought that something this inherently grotesque could look this fucking pretty. I mean, my fucking god. Some of y'all may have noticed in some recent videos, I also ordered a Dying Fetus long sleeve, which is super badass, and I can never wear anywhere in public for obvious reasons. It's objectively pretty disgusting artwork, but it is pretty cool. I am happy I own it. I am happy I own this album. It's probably not something I'll be playing super often because it's just objectively, intentionally, but nonetheless so gross. But it is pretty cool to own a piece of like brutal death metal history on vinyl. Thank you very much to Relapse Records for this as well. Though next time, may I recommend a remaster? I'm not asking for anything like super pretty, but I don't know, it'd be nice to actually hear everything in some capacity. Just a thought. Do with that information whatever you wish. Next up, some stuff that I picked up for Black Friday, Record Store Day, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The latest studio album from Mastodon. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5, I think. It was either that or a very enthusiastic 3.5 out of 5. Not my favorite Mastodon album, but there are plenty of really great songs on here. I love how emotive and transparent and vulnerable they are on this album. Anna loves this thing. She put it on her Top 10 Best Albums video. For anyone who watched that, if you haven't, go do so. That would be pretty swell of you. And this one comes on transparent vinyl. From what I understand, there aren't too many different variants of this. It's pretty much just black and transparent, but whatever. Something else I picked up on Black Friday, Record Store Day, whatever the fuck you want to call it. A greatest hits compilation from Public Enemy, underground hip-hop legends. Plenty of classic jams on this record, on this collection, pressed on a smoky kind of black and brown vinyl. Very nice, very cool. It's been a long time since I listened to a lot of Public Enemy, and I've been looking for some more classic hip-hop in the vinyl collection, so this worked out quite nicely, in my opinion. Next up, something extra super special and different. The Wailing Wailers. For those of you who don't know, this is the first ever album recorded by the band that would eventually be known as Bob Marley and the Wailers. That's right! Jamaica's #1 export. Right here. Looking and sounding much different. As opposed to the laid-back reggae jams that Bob Marley would later be defined for, this has more in common with some doo-wop and some classic pop, with some ska elements thrown in there. This is still, you know, Jamaica. It's got that Jamaican flair, but, you know, it's also, like, a lot different. I mean, for God's sakes, just look at that. It looks like something that would have been bought in the 50s. This is just a really charming album. I gotta give a shout-out to my friend Victoria for this. She was the one who picked this up for me, and she brought it to the restaurant where I work. This comes on a dark red vinyl. There's a little bit of a black wisp thing going all through it. Very cool. I'm not exactly sure where she picked this up, but if she's watching, maybe she'll tell us in the comments section. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool of her to do. Please and thank you. We've also got another compilation, First Days Here, from Pentagram, a collection of demos and old songs recorded by American doom metal pioneers and legends Pentagram in the mid to early 1970s. I actually argued with Anna because she was like, oh no, this is an official album, and I had to look it up and be like, no, this is a compilation. It's a collection of demos and stuff. So, you know, that was interesting. That's a story, I guess. More importantly, this is pressed on kind of a green vinyl with some white pinwheels. We picked this up at the Cops Records, specifically the location near Queen and Spadina, not the one in Greektown. Thank you to Cop Records again. You guys have supplied me with plenty of great vinyl this month. Thank you very much. And finally, something very special, weird, but very cool. It's an old, I don't know, I guess we'd call it an audio play or an audio book, I guess. It's Amazing It's Amazing Spider-Man, and he's fighting a werewolf or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't really know what's going on. Side A has a Spider-Man comic and a Fantastic Four comic, read and performed by professional actors. Side B has another Fantastic Four comic and a Captain America comic, once again, voiced and performed by professional actors. Like I said, kind of an audio play, audio book thing. Very silly, very old school comic book camp bullshit. Kinda love it. We bought this at Sonic Boom, framed and everything, so this is gonna go on the wall at some point. I don't really know where. I'm running out of space. I guess I could go there. You guys have no idea what I'm fucking pointing at. So maybe there, though. I'll show you on Instagram when it goes up at some point. But it's fucking weird. It's fucking cool. It cost me like $10 fucking. I literally took it off the wall at Sonic Boom and was just like, how much for this piece of shit? And they just gave it to me. So, yeah. Definitely a very weird addition. Definitely one of the weirder additions to the vinyl collection overall. But also one of the more amazing, to quote the album itself. And that does it for me. As you can see, there were a slew of records added to my collection, but enough about me. What about you? What records did you add to your collection? Do you have any of these albums? Are you looking for any of these albums? What have you been jamming as of late? Let me know in the comments below. Say hello to all the record stores that I've talked about, all the people that I've mentioned if you happen to live in the Toronto area. If not, go fuck yourself, I guess. Yeah. Booyah. I have a feeling this video will go up either just before Christmas or just after it. I'm not entirely sure. It might even be going up the day of the stream, come to think of it. Regardless, this is probably the last video you'll see until the stream, so with that in mind, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. I think Hanukkah was already celebrated, but Happy Hanukkah nonetheless. If you're not celebrating anything, if you aren't going to celebrate anything, then just have a fantastic fucking day as per the norm. Press subscribe for updates on the Metal Meltdown. Cheers, voila, that's it. Once again, have a fantastic fucking day.